Very good morning, one and all. This is our 7th day of workshop. Today we are going to do working with tables, means how to add external data, whatever data in Excel format or any other format, how to add that data in our special data, or how to join that external data with the attribute table. Okay, that part we are going to do today. Before that, there are some points which we have to discuss. We'll finish that one, then we'll switch to next part. First, we'll have some queries and some outputs of the participants. Then we'll move ahead. Okay. There was one query yesterday. Actually, this was not query. This was just because of some concept, we can say, because of some conceptual part. If you have remember yesterday when we did line digitization, that time I have told you we have to start the snapping option. When we'll start the snapping option, that time we are able to join whatever digitized line on the intersection point exactly. Okay, that is the use of snapping. When yesterday we did that practical, that time here some figures were there 12, we can change into 20, and here if you have remember there are two options like this, pixel and meters. Already we had discussed what is the meaning of that pixel and what is the meaning of that meter and how that useful that one. Very clearly each and every part we had discussed yesterday regarding this one. One of our participants, our friend, he sent me one snapshot of his system, and he asked, sir, yesterday when I was doing that practical, that time the options were like that, pixel and meter, but when that candidate started his working, that time his option like that, pixel and degrees. Then what is the reason behind that? Can you guess what is the reason? When I was doing, means we were doing practical in our practical session, that time that options were pixel and meter, but one of our friend, when he was working in his home, that time he got options like these, pixel and degrees. Just think on it, how the changes is like that. Here is like this and here is like this. If I think this is visible to you, px meter, px degrees. Okay, then I can explain very simple manner and very briefly. You have to remember the coordinate system when we are dealing any kind of mapping. Okay, that time when we are using geographical coordinate system. Okay, GCP, geographical coordinate system, that time that is the worldwide, and when we are using that projected coordinate system, that is also worldwide, but that time we are considering the plane earth. Here we are considering in meter, this is the projected coordinate system meter, and this is degree, is the geographical coordinate system. When we are discussing about the geographical coordinate system, that time we are considering the curvature part of the earth. Okay, means earth is in round shape or geoid shape, whatever, but in curvature shape. Okay, that's why it is showing the degree. Okay, because that curve is in degree, but here the case is totally opposite. In projected coordinate system we are considering earth is a plane surface. Okay, that time there is no need to degree, that's why it is showing here in meter. Okay, I'm very happy and very satisfied the way you are working on our different tasks. I am receiving many feedbacks from our participants through phone, message, text, WhatsApp, mail, different platform. They are sending me their output, how they are working on their system, how nicely, and what problems they are facing when they are actually working. They are also sharing that with me, and at my level best I am trying to give that explanation. Okay, this is very nicely, means he got this problem, because of that we all of you know what is actual reason behind that. Okay, very nice. Now we'll move next. The another query is like that, sir, by mistake I delete this menu bar, how I can get it back? The question is this one. surely many times by mistake or unfortunately it is happening with anyone. Okay, if you remember, this is our home page when we are starting the QGIS. That time this is the menu bar, this is the toolbar, okay, and here is panel. Actually that was what her concern is, that was not a menu bar, that is actually she wanted to ask about the panel. Okay, this question is directly in her word. I am just copied and pasted her message. Means how people are thinking in different way. We should understand that one. See, this is our, when we are opening the QGIS, the interface is like that. This is our menu bar. These are menu bar. The toolbar. These are the toolbar. This is our display. Here is the that panels. First one is the browser and second one is the layer. Okay. Now by mistake that option, that close option is here, like the cross mark is here. By mistake, suppose you are working somewhere here and by mistake you click here, it will go. Okay, doesn't matter, there will be a no any wrong thing and nothing. Suppose you want to see in full portion, then obviously we can change that one, but we should know how to get it back. Okay, sorry, I will show on here on software. See, suppose I switch off this one, the interface is like that. Okay, don't worry, don't panic, nothing is happening. Just go here, view. Okay, go last panel, the all options are here. See, all options are here. Just click, check in browser, go again view, go again panel. Which one I want? I want layer. Okay, layers, both the options are here. Instead of that, suppose you want to add extra view, go panel, browser to GPS, layer order, styling, log, overview, special bookmark, statistic, tile scale, undo and redo. All options are here. You want to switch off here, you can switch on. Okay. The answer of her question, yesterday only I gave her answer of her question, but everyone should know what should we do. Suppose such a situation is there, this is the answer. Okay, now again we will move next. The another one question, that is the sir, I am not getting these options like you. Means yesterday when we were doing practical, that time in symbology options are like this. This is our workshop 5th day, data extraction in QGIS. He sent the message is like that. I tried my level best, but suppose but he using the same version and all options are same one only. Then till now I didn't get what is exactly reason behind that. Might be some options off there, we have to check against. Then you also try why these options are differently here. Suppose you got the answer, just drop message on WhatsApp and will display to all the people. Okay, today again I will check out what exactly reason behind that, but yesterday in late night he sent me this pic, I didn't get what exactly reason behind it. Surely some options might be off there, but this is in front of you. The concern is that only you should understand what kind of problems we will face when actually we will start our work. This is your homework. You just try to find out why we are not getting these options. Okay. These are the some outputs from the participants. In the beginning only I told I am very happy and satisfied whatever work you people are doing. Very nicely you are creating maps, you are trying different queries, you are generating different output, and this is really nice. One professor, she is working as a professor, she made these outputs and she has sent to me. I feel it should be a shared all with the participant. This is very nice output. Okay, now here we are switching to our today's practical. It is actually our topic is that working with the tables, but before going to the today's practical working with tables, yesterday we left one part, that is the polygon digitization. Very small part, already we did point, line, and now next one is the polygon. We'll just briefly we'll have some discussion on the polygon, how to digitize that polygon, and then we'll switch next to working with the tables. This is our software. We are ready with the software. We have to add the data. Layer, add data, add raster data, because we have to work on the topo sheet. Topo sheet is comes under in raster data. Browser, workshop practice. If you have remember, we have to take that georeference topo sheet, georef. That was name which I have given when I did georeference. Add, close. Now we are ready with the topo sheet. We have to just zoom full, then it will be a fixed to the our boundary. Now it is in process. Now this is here. Now same things we have to follow which we followed yesterday for the point and line. Now we are going to do polygon. First we have to check out what are polygons there on our topo sheet or study area. See, here is the forest, here is also forest, here is water body. Let me check, either it is water body or what. This is water body only. Upper Kathraj Lake, here is one water body, here is one water body. Okay, now either we can go with this one forest, two forests are there, three water bodies are there, then we'll go with the water bodies. Okay, to understand the how to do polygon digitization, go to layer, create layer, new shapefile layer, name. First we have to give the path. Again I will use the same folder practice. Here I am giving the name of the our feature, water body. Okay, save. This is the file encoding. Yesterday we didn't discuss on that. This is nothing but that this is the 8-bit encoding. Through this encoding we are converting our data with the suitable for our system. There are different types of encoding. That encoding just useful for the converting our data sets. Point, I am going to use here polygon. Again I am going to use here projection, name. Now here we have to add the field. Yesterday we add only one single field. Now we can add, actually we can add whatever fields, any fields related to our feature. Now first thing I want to add name of the water body, name of the, it won't take that much, we'll take name. Okay, we'll go text data, because we have to write the name now. We'll take text data, length sufficient, add to the field list, name string 18. Now I am to add area of that water body, then it is number, area, then we can say name, area, then village name, where it has located, village, in which village it is there. Again we have to go with the text. Okay, we can add this one. Suppose we have to add some date regarding water body. Okay, then we have to go with the date. Okay, add field. Now we are ready with our attributes. Now that water body, it is here. Now we have to start our digitizing. Now we have to go here, toggle editing. We already told you that toggle editing, it is here also. We can go by right click, here also, or here in layer, here also. We can go from anywhere. We had clicked here. Okay, the way we click here, this option will start, again this option will start. Okay, the option, when after completion of all our work, we have to just go here and save selected layer. That option is for that one, and this is for our digitization. We click here. Now our cursor has changed into the pointer. Now we have to start our digitization. Okay, I will take this one. One important thing is that when we are doing the digitization, that time your zoom level is very important. the way you are keeping the zoom level, it directly affect on your accuracy. Suppose I took at that level, then we will not get exact accuracy. Then what we have to do, we have to go with at least this zoom level. Then what will happen when actually we start work? Okay, a pointer is here, exactly in the middle we can digitize. Okay, now I am using my keypad for the moving the topo sheet. That 4 keys are there, in 4 direction I can move the topo sheet. We can use the pan also, but sometime in the pan there are chances to happen the mistake. Now here sometime I am using the middle button of mouse, that is also useful. I am just showing how to do digitize. This is totally on the basis of practice. Your skill will develop. Okay, it is very time consuming part, but we don't have any other option. In the beginning, whenever we will do any kind of work, any project, anything, that time this is the first step. We have to go with this only. And even in corporate sector also, many our friends, they are working in corporate sector. The first step is that one only. Whenever any project will start, that time we have to convert that analog data, that raster data into vector data. When that is the process of vectorization. When we will convert that data from raster to vector, then it is ready for our further analysis. Just I will show how nicely we are doing our digitization, and what will happen in the next step I will show you. Suppose I took that zoom level very less, then what will happen? Now our this zoom level is sufficient. It will take time, but for accuracy, for quality data, it is required. It is taking too much time. Really, whenever we will do digitization, sometimes it headache to do this work, and most of the time consuming digital part, that is the contour. For the contour lines, we have to be patient because it is taking too much time, and sometimes we'll feel lethargic, like bore, but that we have to complete this task. Okay, now I think we are going to finish. This is our polygon water body. Just we are going to finish our what. Suppose now this is the straight line, we can directly click here, we can directly do here, from here, again here. It is just like a sticking, we are sticking something, the way it is happening. Whenever I am working on desktop, this on screen, I'm not able to do eye contact because I have to concentrate on the work. I think it's going to finish very soon. It will be finished, hopefully. Small part is there, I have to just finish. Okay, after clicking everything, we have to just a single click, right click over there. When you will right click, the all your digitization will complete and this window will appear there. See now what are their options. Now first ID, then second name, that is the Kathras upper leg, Kathras upper leg, area. Suppose we know the exact area square kilometer like that something, then we give that one. I don't know exactly the area of this one, randomly I am giving. For the village, suppose we know the village, we are working some project, some area, your dissertation and something like that, you know the exact village, then we can write the village name also. I'm giving here Kathras. Date, we have to give some particular date, then we can give the date also. Now suppose now this is 7/6 to 2020, we can give that date also, otherwise we can change also. Okay, now these are the variables. With what variables these are? The when we started our digitization, that time we entered everything, that all things are there. We have to just do okay. Okay, our polygon is ready here. Now we'll just check out. Okay, very nicely we did digitization. See, we'll just see the digitization. We'll just check. This is our polygon, digitized polygon of that water body. Now we can see on zoom level also how it is. Okay, we can start the topo sheet. We can see exactly we are on boundary. I hope you understood how to do digitization. Now here we have to do what is the importance of zoom level. Now you know on which zoom level we did our digitization. Now suppose you want to save your time. Okay, then what people do, they do digitization on very less zoom level. Then I am going to show here what will happen if we keep that zoom level very less. Now we'll take next part for the digitization. We'll take this small leg. Okay, this one. Okay, suppose we click here, it is asking for saving for previous work. We can do save. Again we have to start here for the next polygon. Okay, click here. Now suppose we are on this zoom. Actually I do not have habit to digitize on this zoom level. I am always keeping the high zoom level, then it is giving the more accuracy. Suppose we are working on this zoom level, then what will happen? Surely within short period of time we'll get our output, but how that quality will be there, it is matter. When I am digitizing this, then also I am taking care to do more accuracy or quality data. Then also how when we'll see actual zoom level, then we can see what is the scenario of our data. On my level best, I'm trying to give good output on this zoom level, but see how it's affect. Okay, nearby we complete. I'm just clicking right click here. Now ID to this one, lower Kathras leg. Area again Kathras, we can say. Why it's not taking that value? Okay, sorry. Area we have to give your numbers. Numbers, village, here Kathras. You have understood why it was not taking that latest, because when we set that variable, that time we set here the numbers, integer. That's why it is taking only numbers, not taking the text. Here is the text, and that is there. Today's date, we can keep today's date. Okay, this is our second layer. Okay, now we'll see. First we'll remove our topo sheet, we'll zoom in. This is our first, this is our second. Okay, we'll just do the zoom of both the things. Now you can see the curvature of this one and this one when we'll open the topo sheet. See here, that part we had missed here. Again, see here we went somewhere out. Here also some part inside, some outside, like that. This kind of errors will happen when you are keeping the very less zoom level, and when just compare with this one. See very nicely, because on line only we did everything. Okay, that is the polygon digitization matter of zoom level. Okay, now go here. Already we have saved the things, it has saved. Okay, now we can open the attribute table. Open attribute table here. Okay, see this digitization, polygon digitization, lower Katraj leg, Katraj upper leg. These are our today's digitization, polygon digitization. That yesterday's digitization, it was on another data set I have saved somewhere else. That's why it is not here. But suppose you are working on a single project, your topo sheet is same, that you are saving that all part in a single folder, and that then it will appear there. Might be I didn't save, that's why it is not there. Then it will like your that attribute data will generate. See here, ID, this is our, I'm clicking here, this is our ID, first, second, the way we have digitize ID, here name, area, village, and date, everything is there. Okay, we'll just close here. The another one thing, that is your homework, that is in our software. When we are going here, add layer, sorry, create layer, shapefile, this one, this is your homework. Already we did point, line and polygon. Now this is your homework, multi-point. Here in this version, that is only multi-point. Actually there is multi-point, multi-line and multi-polygon, that options are there. Okay, geometry type, just find out what is that and what is that importance, and you submit me on my mail or WhatsApp, anything. Okay, this is what is this multi-point. Already we discussed this 3-1, we have to find out this one. Okay, this is the multi-point. Another one thing I will tell here, this one, geo package, special light, and this another one, virtual layer. These are also different data sets which we can open here, or which we can generate on our QGIS or software, anywhere on our platform we can generate that one. In different GIS software, these are supporting on different types of file. Here it is supporting shapefile also and geo package also. We have to just read the theory. Suppose you want that theory, I can provide you. Just drop me message on WhatsApp. Okay, I hope you understood how to digitize the different thing. You just do practice. In our class, I took this part near about 15 days for only digitization. I asked my student to digitize the whole topo sheet, each and every part. What is logic behind that? When actually you are digitizing your work, your topo sheet, that time you are knowing what exactly small problems are there, how to do all these things. Then we can do another one practice also. After digitizing all the data, suppose you have a very huge data with you, you have a topo sheet and you have to digitize this topo sheet, the whole topo sheet. For a single person it will take too much time. Okay, because just think how many features are there. We'll just check out here. See, these are all sign and symbols, convention and symbols. See, all these features are there. Educational institute, bank, hospital, mosque, temple, bus stop, housing colonies, contour. I told you now, it is very time consuming part. Digitization of contours, very time consuming part. Contour. You can, if you haven't worked on your geographical data on GIS platform, then you cannot imagine. It is very time consuming. Contour digitization. Many of my students, they already work on this part. They knows how time it is taking. Road, ward boundaries, lakes, nala, town, agriculture, open scrub, quarries, urban, open scrub, space, reserve forest, barren land. Okay, everything is there. Okay, then you have to digitize the whole area. In last lecture, by mistakenly I told this is the barren land. This is not barren land, this is agriculture only. By slipping of tongue I said this is barren land, this is agriculture only. That yellow color on the topo sheet is always showing the agriculture only. The barren land, it is look like this is the barren land. Okay, we have to just find out where is that color. That is here, this is barren land. This is the agriculture, this total agriculture. See here, agriculture. This is the barren land, this is barren land. These are the contours, 800, and then we can say the contour intervals also. I think it is on the topo sheet, that is a 20 meter, that is a contour interval. Means difference between two contours. Datum WGS 1984, projection UTM. This is the projected coordinate system. Here is the scale 1:10,000. Here is the who generated this map, authority, everything is there. You should well aware about that. It is showing which part here on this topo sheet. It is showing here. This is the Pune city. You can directly download a topo sheet from Naksha portal also. Naksha website portal is there. You can directly, you have to enter your Aadhaar number and you can directly download topo sheet of which area you want to work. Okay, I think that much is information is sufficient. If you want extra information or any other point, you feel free to ask. Okay, shall we switch to other point, today's work? Already half an hour we spent on this topic. I am just removing both the things. Remove layer, save. Okay, now we are switching to our today's topic, that is the already we covered this part. Yesterday's remaining part, polygon design, we covered that one. Now we are moving this one, working with tables, adding external data through the spatial data. This is also very important, how to add the external data. Okay, first I have to check out where I have saved the data. QGIS workshop. This data is here. Okay, now here what things we are going to do here. Thing is that suppose you have a spatial data with you, okay, and you have a Excel data with you. Now we have to add that Excel data sheet data to the your spatial data. Then today we are going to do that part, how to do that one. Already the data is with you, which I have given you on our Telegram channel. You have to download that data and you have to ready with that data, but it is not mandatory to use that same data. You can use your own data also. Suppose you are working on some project assignment, you can use that data also. I don't mind anything. You have to just perform the task. Okay, now first what we have to do, first open that Excel sheet. which external data you want to join to the your special data. Those candidates, those participants were using the data which I have given. For them, use Pune bid water within premises. Open that Excel data. Okay. Now that data will looks like this. Okay. This is your this Excel data. Just minimize it and open your special data. In the special that in that folder only that special data is there. Now we are going to open that one, that is in vector format. Okay, now we have to open that one, layer, add vector layer. Okay, now you know how to open that one, layer, add layer, vector layer. Already vector layer is there. I am going here, browse, now workshop, and today is 7th date. Our data is here, and which kind of data you want to open? We want to open shapefile. Then go to here, isri shapefile.ssp file. That is not required to go go there, it compulsory, but it is easy to find out our data because many files are there. That all files are supportive file to our data set. Don't delete any file over there. Okay. Another point I want to clear here. Many times you people are saving your file in some folders, and you are directly going there and you are just clicking there. Don't do like that. Sometimes it won't open. It will show, it will ask to you on your screen, in which format should I open this file. Okay, computer asks to you, that your system, whatever computer, laptop, anything. So that system get confused, where should I open this file? Then don't do this practice. You just open your QGIS, which software you are using, just open that one, and the way we are opening either raster data or vector data or any kind of other data, you open in that manner only. Don't do directly click on that file. Just click here. When you will click here, already we discussed on this topic, only that file will represent here. Okay. Now we are ready with these two data sets. Now here we are going to open first one, Pune bid. Okay, just do click here, add and close. Okay, now here our spatial data is ready with us. Now we are just clicking their attributes. See, these are the attributes. Already that data set having. Now what we have to do? We have to add our Excel data set file with that data set. Okay, I'm just minimizing this thing. Okay, this is our Excel data and this is our attribute data. We'll just do this thing, comparing both the things. Now already some data is there and we have to add this data also with this one. I'm just checking 26, 25 rows are there, 25 rows are there, similar data is there. Now these are the Tehsil name. I'm just do check here, 23 and 523 and 521, both data set is there. See, Tehsil's names are there here and Tehsil's name is here. We have to just compare both the things. Now first what we have to do, we have to convert this Excel file with CSV format. Okay, but before going to convert that file from Excel to CSV, we have to make sure that either at least one variable, it should be similar in both the data sets. Why it should be same? See, suppose there is not a single variable is similar with this data set, then on which basis we are going to join that two data sets? Are you getting my point? Means suppose we have to join two things together, then some uniqueness should be there. On that uniqueness, that data, that anything will join. Okay, I will give you just normal example of our day-to-day life. Suppose you have to go somewhere on unknown place, then what usually we do? We just ask the person who is familiar with that area, and with the reference of that person we'll go to that unknown place, and somewhere we give that our friend's reference, someone XYZ has sent me to here, and with reference is I want to do some work. Okay, then it will be easy to perform our task. Same things we have to apply here, same logic we have to apply here. The one thing should be similar or unique on the both the platform, then on the basis of that we are going to join our both the data sets. Okay, means we are going to tell to this software use this key as a primary key and join with this data set. Okay, now we have to find out which key is there which will be a same or it will be a fit to each other. Okay, now see, just check out the variables. First we'll check out the variables in Excel data. First, district code, Tehsil, local, total, these are the variables different. Okay, and just check out here UID, district code, district, Tehsil, variable name, perimeter. Okay, these are the some data sets. Okay, now here what we have to do, this UID will just do the ascending order. This is in ascending order. We can use this UID as a primary key. Okay, we have to generate one primary key here with same as this one. But what will happen here in Excel, suppose we try to give the 0 with starting 0, it won't take. We know that normal practice of that one, just 1 minute, we know the normal practice of Excel, whenever we are trying to join the data with starting 0, it won't take. Automatically it will convert into round figure. It will start from 4180. Obviously, suppose we do like that, that data will get error. Okay, then we have to same as it is, we have to give the primary key. Now what is next? Now we can go by Tehsil name also. Here is also Tehsil name. We'll do again ascending order. Ambegaon, here also we'll do same thing. Short A to Z. Okay, shorted out. Now Ambegaon, Ambezogai, Asti, Baramati, Bhor, Bid, Daund, Dharur, Gevarai, Haveli, Indapur, Junnar, Kes, Khed, Mazalgaon, Mawal, Mulshi, Parali, Patoda, Pune city, here is Pune city, Pandharpur, Purandar, Shirur, again Shirur, Kasar, Velle and Vadwani. All the tehsils are correct. Same. Okay. Now, but one thing is that here is that prefix is sub-district, that is not here. Okay, then it won't match. Both things should be same. On the basis of that only we can join the data set. Okay, now UID here is 0, we cannot go with the 0. Then what is next? Which one is easy? Okay, can we take density? Okay, we can take density because this is the small number, we can generate very easily density column here. Okay, I want to just arrange that this density column nearby tehsil name, because we should know which tehsil density is like that. On the basis of that we are going to do generate our primary key. We have to just right click over here and organize columns. Okay, go to down here, somewhere here is our density. We have to just drag on the top of the nearby that tehsil name. Okay, this tehsil name is nearby here. Do okay, that shifted that column from here to here, tehsil name and density. Now it is near. Now I am just again ascending order. Now here. Now again what we have to do? Again we'll check ascending order here. Ambegaon, here Ambegaon. Now here what we have to do, we have to generate that density column here as a primary key. Okay, again I am right clicking here and insert. Now that column will be generated here. Okay, now I am going to do the density column. Okay, density. Now see here, we have to do the same thing. Already we checked this column Tehsil, already this column is also checked. Now what we have to do, we have to just generate this column. Okay, now Ambegaon 2 2 3. Already we have checked this Tehsil name, then need not to go again. We have to just generate this column 358 167 314 222 390. In between we can pay attention also here, bead 293 357 252 1802. I will tell you, I am not going with why I am not going with the letters. I will tell you later. Just finish me this task. 201 328 216 334 167 443 148. Pune city 29203. Very carefully we have to perform this task, otherwise it won't match, and again we have to do everything repetitively. We have to repeat all the process. That's why give proper attention and finish this task. 187 101 and last one 107. First save it, otherwise might be some problem will happen. That I was discussing why I am not going with names. See, problem with names is that suppose this Bid district spelling is BID, okay, but not all the people is writing BID. Some people do use BEED, BEED, is it? Okay, then it will be difficult to understand the system. Either we are giving the same name or is there different name, because system doesn't know Bid, Tehsil, district, system doesn't know anything. System just matching the words and letter, figures and letters. Okay, that's why please my suggestion is that don't go with the names, go with the figures, because 2 to 3 means 2 to 3 only, there will be no 4 and 5. Okay, but in the case of village name or Tehsil name, it's not like that. Suppose I will give the example of my own Tehsil, Akole. Many people do use Akola, then it will be confused either Akole or Akola. Then always give preference to figures. Figures always it will be unique. Now see, our this density column is ready here. Our where is that? Our density column is ready with there. Here we cross check with Tehsil name also, we cross check with Tehsil name also, means whatever data set of that Tehsil is correctly matching to here also in this file and in this file also. Now what we have to do, we have to join this data with this data. Before joining, we have to convert this Excel file to CSV file. Okay, in Quantum GIS it is taking that CSV file, but doesn't mean that all softwares following the same path. The other softwares, I will give you example of ArcGIS. There is no need to convert Excel file into CSV file. Directly Excel file we can join into attribute table, but here in this Quantum GIS case we have to convert the format. Okay, how to convert Excel to CSV? Very simple. Go to here in file, go to here in save as. I'm just maximum this one. According to your system setup, means which one Windows you are using, which platform you are using, according to that might be will get some different interface, but that option should be there. That options are there. Go to save as. Now always I am all folders I am keeping in that practice only. Yeah, my all work is here only. I am going with CSV. Here is that CSV. In this there are some other CSV also. but we are going with the comma delimited. Okay, already that some files are there with this name, that's why I am going with some additional name 20. Okay, in your case is not like that, but because you haven't worked till now on this file, already I did work on this file, that's why that names are there, but I am giving some additional name, then it will be a unique name. Okay, save. Now that file is ready. This message will appear, but go with the yes. You can close also, you can minimize also, you can keep this one also. What is this? Already we saved this one. Yes. Okay, now this is our attribute table, we are just closing. Okay, now here we are ready with the special data, we are ready with the attribute data, and we are ready with the CSV file also. Now that CSV file we have to add here. How to add that CSV file? Same process we have to follow the way we are adding the vector layer. Go to layer, add layer, vector layer. Go to here, find out your folder, practice, find out here CSV, I am just pressing C on the keyboard, that CSV here, our file is last one with 20, because all other files are there, but that is not related to this task. Add and close, that file will appear here. For same process the way we are adding the vector data. Now just click on, right click on our vector data, go to properties. This window will open here. Already we discussed information in the source from where that file has come, symbology you know, label you know, you can check diagram also, you can check 3D view also, fields also, attribute form and join. Okay, now we have to deal with the join. What we did, we just right click over here, then properties, then layer properties window will appear here. In that layer properties windows, join option is there, we have to click on join, then we have to click here add new join. What is he is asking, which one we have to join? Join layer, which layer we have to join? We have to join this layer with this one, then automatically that join layer will appear here. Sometimes suppose we have many layers here, in the drop down window many layers will appear here, then my suggestion is that for avoiding the confusion, please don't keep many layers here, keep the layer which you are working. Okay, suppose you are working on only 2 layers at this time, keep that 2 layers only in the layer panel. Otherwise suppose you are keeping 7, 8, 10 layers, that all layers will appear here, then you may get confused which layer I have to join to whom and like that. Avoiding these all confusion, please avoid the unwanted layers here, just keep as you which on you working, which our join field, which one density, target field obviously density somewhere here. Okay, now just do okay, join layer Pune bid premises, apply, okay, just do right click here, go to open attribute table, just full. Now whatever data was there in Excel file, that all data is appeared here. See, just check out whatever variables were there, that all variables are here. Okay, now one another thing, rightly you have joined that layer, but that is temporary, that is not permanent. Suppose you shut down your system, again you open, that layer will not there. Then for permanent, what we have to do, just right click here, go to export, save a feature as. This is shapefile name, again browse, I am again going to practice folder, I am giving the final output. You give your name as per your convenience, layer name, Here is the CR coordinate reference system. Correct, everything is correct. Okay, final output is here. We can do check. Open attribute, everything is there. Whatever work we have done, that is the final if we did. This way we have to add our Excel data with the spatial data. I hope you have understood each and everything very slowly and very nicely. We explain each and everything. First, in this today's practical, we gone with polygon, how to generate polygon, how to add attributes, how to edit that one. After that, we gone with the how to join external data to the polygon. Now you are ready with your external data, and this is very important. Those one mostly working on demography and any other fields also, physical, mathematics, anywhere, even in science also. Suppose we are dealing with some spatial distribution or spatial work. Okay, today we'll stop here. Tomorrow there will be attribute queries. We are going with that. Spatial queries are also there, but according to our plan, tomorrow will be the last day of our workshop. Then we'll go with the one special lecture. Dr. Ganesh Madhe, he is going to deliver one special lecture regarding the technology. Many people do face some problem with the installation, then some technical things. He is expert in technical things. Already I told you, I am just delivering the lecture, but behind me he is always supporting me, technical support, and Bala Sahib is also there. He is also supporting us in technical part. In such a case, whatever your technical questions have, you just drop me on WhatsApp. I will just convey that message to Madhe sir, and he is going to conduct that part in a special session. Tomorrow we will conduct our last session. After that, suppose you want some more discussion, we'll have that discussion also. After that, there will be a 25 marks exam, objective marks, 25 marks, 25 question, 40% passing, that is a 10 marks. After that, the way you have registered your name, on the basis of we are going to distribute you certificate, those who will clear the exam. If in between, suppose you have some doubt, any doubt, you feel free to ask. Okay, now today I will stop here. Is there any communication, I will drop message on Telegram channel. And after completion of this course also, I do continue all the practice on my YouTube channel Ravindra Mede. Suppose you want to keep in touch with me, you just subscribe both the channels, YouTube channels also Ravindra Mede, and Telegram channel also GIS Hub. All GIS related activities mostly we are going to do on that platform, and some another academic activities also I am going to share on that platform. Yesterday only I have sent one message related to some courses are going on, running by the government freely online. Many programming languages are there. 15th May is the last date for the registration of that one. Another one workshop is also there. Suppose mostly for the people who are engaged in the higher education, faculty development program. One program is also there in Coimbatore International program is that. I am going to share that information also on Telegram channel. Suppose you want such kind of academic things related to our field and another field also, interdisciplinary, because nowadays world is going to be a interdisciplinary. For that, if you want to keep in touch, subscribe that YouTube channel also and Telegram channel also. We will always do share our views and notions. Thank you very much, and good day.